Woo! Crappy webcam video, yay. I wanted to talk about the Scott Cornwall colour before extra strength thing. I used it yesterday evening to get rid of some dark colour out of my hair. And I was looking online beforehand to try and write some reviews about it, and I didn't find too many. So this is basically the kind of video I was looking for, but didn't quite find. So hopefully you find this helpful. Because I'm a bad person and I didn't plan to do this, I haven't kept the box or anything, but hopefully if you're looking for it you would know what you're looking for, obviously. So yeah, a bit about my hair. I have quite fine hair and it's kind of long actually. It comes down, but it can be quite flat and limp and yeah, at times. It's really hard to get volume into it, but yeah, fine. My hair was in quite good condition actually before I used the treatment. I'm a deep conditioner freak, so masks and things I use pretty much every time I get in the shower. So my hair was in quite good condition to begin with, and I'd never dyed my hair up until last November. Oh, yeah, November 2010. I'd been a dirty blonde all my life, which was my natural hair colour, which is actually my roots at the moment, and my eyebrows obviously. So yeah, dyeing it was a kind of spur of the moment thing, and the first colour I used was a live XXL one, and it was a hot cinnamon. And I stuck with dark colours. I used a Nutrice one, and I used a temporary one as well once because I was trying to wash it out. I'm not sure why I did that. And then I just kept using the XXL ones. I stuck with Mystic Violet for a couple of times, and I dye my hair sort of once a month. I think I was quite OCD about my roots because where they were coming through blonde, they look grey, and even if I could see them, I was like, oh, other people are noticing them, so I kept dyeing them a lot. But yeah, so I got to the point, it's coming up to summer now, and I really wanted to have sort of blonde hair again, so I didn't have to worry about sort of re-dyeing it every so often and putting it through that. So obviously if I went swimming or anything, then that would just totally screw with the colour. I didn't want to be dyeing my hair when I was off on holiday or anything. So I looked around and I found a couple of removers. I was going to get it done in a salon originally, but that was far too pricey. So to begin with I started using Fairy Liquid, which helped a little bit, but that only lifted a tiny bit of the colour. And I even sort of used it, like left it on my hair for about 5 minutes and tried to get some colour out, and that just didn't work in my favour at all. So yeah, I looked into the Scott Cornwall thing, and he does 2 strengths. One's the normal strength and one's the extra strength, which is the one I use. The normal strength is £10 and the extra strength is £2, and the difference £2 more is £12. And the difference between the two is the normal strength is for if you've recently dyed your hair or you've dyed it a colour that isn't too different from your natural hair colour. So you're only wanting to lifting a small amount of dye, but where I was blonde and I dyed it quite dark, I needed the extra strength one. And it said in the instructions that my hair might not go back to its original colour, which quite obviously it hasn't because it's a ginger all over, and I'm not naturally ginger, and it's like light at the tops and dark at the roots. But I'll get onto that in a minute. So yeah, that was fun. But I wasn't expecting miracles. To be honest, from what I'd seen, I was expecting it to go like a light brown. I wasn't expecting it to lift as much of colour as it did. So I took it home and got my mum to help me do it because it could be a little bit messy, and it smells like egg, but it's not overpowering or anything. So it is bearable. It's not like some sort of because like the smell of the XXL dye made my eyes water, and this was nowhere near as bad. Yeah, I got someone to help me do it just so I didn't miss out any parts that I didn't end up like a random brown bit or anything. So yeah, what I did is I got my mum to help me. Before I started, I washed my hair twice with clarifying shampoo. Clarifying shampoo basically removes all the build-up of products in your hair. So you can't use it every day, otherwise it's just going to totally strip your hair of natural oils and everything. But so yeah, I washed my hair twice with that over the side of the bath. I used the Pantene Pro V one because it's the only one I could find, and that's £4 I think. Although if you search around and maybe got one offline, you could probably find it cheaper. Or I think you'd use Fairy Liquid or something. It's just to get like all the sort of products in your hair that could stop the remover penetrating the hair. So I washed my hair twice with that, brushed it all through and dried it so it was 100% dry. Because obviously the water's going to stop the colour penetrating as well. So then I got my mum to help me. She sort of made sure all the hair was on, all the remover was on my hair. And then we wrapped up in cling film. And then I blotted it with a hairdryer for a couple of minutes and then wrapped a towel around it to keep all the heat in, because it works better when it's warm. So make sure you don't do it in a room where you're going to have a cold draft or anything coming through. And I kept that on for an hour. Like the instructions said, you can leave it on for less if you don't want as much sort of colour lifted out of it. So yeah, let it on for an hour, and then I got into the shower. Oh, that rhymed. Yeah, so I washed it out in the shower because you need to rinse it for 10 minutes at least. No, it's 5 minutes at least, but I rinsed it for 10 because my hair's longer. And then you get the second part of the colour removing treatment is buffer, it's called. And that doesn't smell like it. That's quite, I wouldn't say it was a pleasant smell, but it doesn't smell too bad. It smells like sort of generic shampoo smell. So I used that and carried on rinsing my hair, and then after I'd done the whole buffering treatment thing and rinsed it all out, I rinsed it I think altogether for about 20 minutes. I used a deep conditioner because I knew for a fact my hair would have been so flyaway and dry and ugh. So I used a deep conditioner straight afterwards, which hasn't affected the hair because I put it all over. And I dried it and I had this ginger colour, which, to be fair, is alright actually. It looks quite natural, and a couple of people said that it looks quite nice. My mother's ginger and I have quite fair colouring, so it doesn't look too out of place on my head, except for makeup wise I've had to really tone it down because I can't get away with heavy black eyeliner at the moment like I usually do, because obviously ginger hair doesn't go too well with black. I'd get away with it if I was blonde again, but I'm not, which is slightly annoying. But yeah, so now I want to go back to my normal blonde. So what I've done is I've bought 2 shaders and toners. I've got the light ash blonde one, and I'm going to use those in the shower in a bit. And I also got some shampoo for silver hair, no, for grey hair, because when people get blue rinses and they dye their hair bright blonde, they get a yellow tone come through, or a brassy tone, which is what I've got at the moment, which is why my hair looks so ginger. So I've bought some of that. There's the John Frieda one, which I was originally going to get in Boots earlier, and it's 2 for £7.50, which is a bit expensive, but I was like, I don't really want to be ginger, and I can't put my hair through any dyeing or permanent dyeing for 2 weeks, because obviously I've used a treatment on my hair, and you can use semi-permanent ones and things afterwards. So if you hate your normal hair colour that much, you can get a semi-permanent one, stick in it straight afterwards. And it says that on the instructions, so yeah, all this info is in the instructions, by the way. But yeah, I bought the Provoke one instead, which worked out at half the price. It's £2, £3 a bottle. And I got the daily shampoo and the daily conditioner. There's also a twice a week one, which I didn't see in Boots, but I think I might look and see if I can find it online somewhere, because that seems to be like a sort of more intense treatment and things. And also in that range they do a dry shampoo and a mousse, which is nice, and they're all under £3 I think, so that's all good. But yeah, that's just to help sort of neutralise it as well, and I think I'm going to try that for a while, because I don't mind this colour too much, but I think if it doesn't sort of clear itself up, I'm going to have to try and bust out the normal dye. Although I might use the colour remover again, but the light one, the normal one, just so I can get all this brassy crap out. But yeah, so hopefully this has been a bit helpful for anybody who was curious about using it. Definitely go for it. However, one thing it says, if your hair is naturally brown, you dyed it blonde, it's not going to work. It's not going to be able to, because the peroxide changes the colour of your normal hair. And peroxide was in the dark dyes that I use. But if you're like me and you dyed your hair darker, the remover should be able to work on that. So yeah, hopefully that helped you guys. And yeah, if you've got any tips for getting rid of this brassiness, leave it in the comments or something, or send me a message, because I really want to get rid of it. So bye.